47% of millionaires built their wealth through owning a business. But most of those businesses are not tech startups or flashy brands. They are boring, repeatable services that quietly compound cash flow month after month, while everyone else chases the next big thing. In one breakdown of the highest success rate businesses, laundromats, self-storage, and vending routes sit in the 90% success range, while most trendy startups die in their first few years. By the end of this video, you'll know the 6 boring business models that keep producing millionaires. The 3 filters one guy named Connor used to pick his first one, and the exact month his cash flow finally passed his 9-to-5 salary. And you'll see why boring is not an insult. It is the point. Connor did not start rich. At 32, he was an operations coordinator in a logistics company. He earned $3,400 a month after tax. His net worth was basically a paid-off hatchback and $863 in a savings account. He had tried the exciting routes. Every attempt had the same pattern. Big hype, complicated funnels, uncertain timelines, no predictable cash landing in his account every single month. So let's start with what changed. Number 1, the discovery that changed everything. First, the moment that shifted Connor's entire trajectory. One night on a late bus home, Connor was scrolling and stumbled on a summary of The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas Stanley and William Danko. The part that hit him was simple. Most real millionaires are not influencers. They are self-employed. They run what the authors literally call dull, normal businesses. Repair companies, small factories, local services people use again and again. That idea felt almost insulting. Connor had been chasing clever angles, clever branding, clever niches. Here was a book saying, be the boring owner of a necessary service and let time do the rest. He decided to treat that not as a quote, but as an experiment on his own life. Over the next 12 months, Connor went down a rabbit hole. He followed threads in entrepreneur communities, looked at sale listings for small local businesses, and noticed the same business types kept showing up in millionaire stories. Not glamorous, not complicated, just relentless. 6 types in particular showed up again and again. Here's where his journey really starts, and where yours might too. Number 2. Business 1. Laundromats. Connor almost skipped this category. He thought, who even uses those anymore? Then he looked up the numbers. Urban areas are still packed with renters, people without in-units machines, families who use laundromats for big bedding, even when they have a washer at home. What mattered was not the romance, it was the pattern. Every single week, people need clean clothes. They pay in small chunks. They come back without you reminding them. Connor found an aging laundromat 15 minutes from his apartment. The owner was late 50s, tired and ready to retire. Revenue was steady, but the place looked stuck in 1999. Sticker price, $198,000. Net income after all expenses, about $4,200 a month. Connor did not have that kind of cash, so he structured it like a boring millionaire would. He scraped together $27,000 for a down payment. Part came from selling the hatchback and driving a cheaper car. Part came from a small line of credit. The owner agreed to finance the rest over 7 years if Connor took over fast and kept the staff. Month 1 as owner, the numbers were not sexy. Gross revenue, $9,200. After rent, utilities, soap, part-time attendant, and loan payment, Connor took home $1,317. That was it. Barely more than a side income. But it was $1,317 that did not require him to clock in for more hours at the logistics job. But here's where it gets interesting. And this is the part most people miss when they think about boring businesses. The stacking strategy. Coming up in section 3. Number 3, business 2, vending routes. By month 6, after Connor added card readers, raised prices by 23 cents per wash, and introduced a simple monthly family wash pass, net cash flow from the laundromat rose to $2,189. But while upgrading payment systems, Connor kept noticing something. Every time he refilled the little snack machine near the door, the same chips and drinks moved first. He could see the grab-and-go habits in real time. He realised the laundromat was not just a laundry business, it was also a captive audience business. So he bought his first proper vending machine from a retiring operator for $2,371, and installed it near the entrance. Then he picked up 3 more and placed them in a nearby warehouse, a quiet office lobby, and a car repair shop. Vending is painfully boring. You drive, you refill, you collect small bills, and count totals. But that is exactly why it works. By month 3 of the vending route, the 4 machines together brought in $1,960 in profit after product costs and fuel. By month 12, after he replaced low-selling items and moved one underperforming machine to a busier gym, the route cleared $2,413 a month. Now Connor had 2 boring businesses feeding each other. Laundry brought foot traffic. Vending monetized waiting time. His logistics salary was still $3,419 a month, but his boring lane was now over $4,600 a month, and climbing. But here's what most people don't realize. Connor wasn't just randomly picking businesses, he was following a specific pattern. 3 filters that separate boring businesses that make millionaires from boring businesses that just waste your time. I'll reveal those exact 3 filters in a few minutes, but first, the business that finally pushed him over $6,000 a month. Number 4, Business 3, self-storage. This one scared Connor the most at first because the numbers were bigger. He kept seeing the same point in investor write-ups. Storage is a business built on one powerful psychological pattern. People do not like letting go of their stuff. Once they put boxes, furniture, or inventory into a unit, they keep paying rent for months, sometimes years. Even when they tell themselves, "I'll clear it out next month," that month rarely comes. Connor did not jump straight into buying a big facility. Instead, he partnered. He met a small contractor who owned a piece of land behind an industrial park. The contractor wanted to build storage, but hated operations. Connor loved operations and had cash flow from the laundromat and vending route. They formed a simple split. Connor funded 31% of the build cost and agreed to run all day-to-day operations, software, and tenant screening. The contractor contributed land and construction expertise. The first year, the mini storage lined up 24 units. By month 9, 18 units were filled at an average of $137 per month. Debt service and shared expenses chewed a lot of that, but Connor's share came out to around $1,594 per month once occupancy stabilised. Add that to the laundromat and vending route. Connor's boring empire was now bringing in more than $6,000 per month after costs. That finally beat his job. At this point, something clicked. Number 5, the other 3 boring businesses. Before we get to the pattern that ties all this together, let me show you the other 3 businesses Connor studied but did not build yet. Business 4, car washes. Not the giant branded tunnels you see on highways. Simple local car washes. You invest in equipment once. Water, soap, brushes, vacuums. Then you let volume do the heavy lifting. Connor saw one small 4-bay wash, listed at $316,000, with claimed net income around $73,000 a year. Business 5, pest control, or similar recurring services. In almost every entrepreneur forum Connor read, there were posts from owners of pest control, pool cleaning, and lawn care. The theme was the same. Customers sign up once, they stay on a regular route, revenue is predictable. Imagine one route of 82 homes, each paying $59 a month. That is $4,838 in gross revenue monthly from one technician, one truck, and chemicals. Business 6, property management. Not skyscrapers, not luxury towers, just being the bridge between everyday landlords and everyday tenants. A solo property manager with 50 doors under management at an average fee of $91 per door brings in $4,550 in gross fees monthly. Connor did not build all 6 businesses at once. He focused on 3: laundromat, vending, self-storage. But these 6 categories all share something in common, and once you understand what it is, you'll never look at business opportunities the same way again. But before I show you the pattern, you need to know how Connor's story ends, because the numbers 6 years later will blow your mind. Coming up in section 7. Number 6, the 3 filters that matter. Here is the best reveal, the part Connor wishes he had understood at 22 instead of 32. In The Millionaire Next Door, Stanley and Danko pointed out that 2/3 of millionaires are business owners. Many of them run what most people would call boring or even dull companies. Connor realised they were all using the same underlying 3 filters, whether they knew it or not. Filter 1. Customers pay you at least once a month without needing to be chased. Laundry, storage, pest control, property management, even vending in the right locations all pass this test. They tie into habits. Groceries get dirty. Houses collect bugs. Tenants stay. Filter 2. The customer's decision is low drama. No one calls a family meeting to decide on a $12 car wash or a $1.79 soda from a vending machine. The price is small enough to slide under emotional radar. That makes your income more stable. Filter 3. Over time, you can own or control the asset under the cash flow. The washers and dryers, the storage units and land, the car wash bays, the vending machines and routes. This is what flipped Connor's results. He stopped asking, what business could go viral? He started asking, what boring business in my city already passes these 3 filters and has an owner who wants out? From there, the numbers did the talking. Number 7. Connor's results, 5,000 to 1 million. Here are Connor's actual numbers. At 32, his net worth was maybe $5,000. By 38, after 6 years of focused, boring moves, the picture looks different. He still wore the same type of jeans. He still drove a practical car. But the laundromat loan was nearly paid down, and a new valuation put that business at around $341,000. His share of the storage facility after debt was worth about $270,000. The vending routes sold at a common multiple of earnings could likely fetch around $89,000. Together with retained earnings that he mostly ploughed into index funds and a simple home, his net worth crossed the $1 million mark at 38 years old. No single year felt explosive. There was no viral moment, just slow, steady, compounding growth from assets people barely notice when they drive by. 6 years. From 5,000 to 1 million. From operations coordinator to business owner. From chasing exciting ideas to owning boring ones. And here's what that means for you. Why boring beats exciting every time. Most people chase excitement because exciting feels like progress. New trends, viral products, cutting-edge technology. It feels like you're building something important. But exciting comes with problems. Excited customers leave when the next exciting thing shows up. Excited markets shift overnight. Excited businesses require constant innovation just to survive. Boring is different. Boring's predictable. Boring customers come back because they need you, not because they're entertained by you. Boring cash flow compounds because it is not dependent on trends. Connor's laundromat customers did not care about his brand story. They cared that their clothes got clean. His vending route customers did not follow him on social media. They just wanted a Snickers bar while they waited. That is the beauty of boring. You are not competing on excitement. You are competing on reliability, convenience, and necessity. And once you own the boring thing, once you control the asset that generates the boring cash flow, time becomes your biggest advantage. Because boring businesses do not age out. They compound. What you can do starting tonight. Pick one of the 6 boring categories that fits your city. Just one. If you live in a dense rental area, that might be laundromats or small storage. If you are in spread out suburbs, maybe pest control or lawn care. If you are near commuter traffic, vending or car wash. Write down 3 concrete moves. Maybe it is find 5 laundromats within 30 minutes and note which feel neglected. Maybe search for vending routes for sale and write down asking prices. Maybe call one property manager tomorrow and ask what tasks they hate most. Filter every opportunity through Connor's 3 questions. Do customers pay at least monthly? Is each decision low drama? Can you eventually own or control the key asset? Stop underestimating tiny cash flow. $1,317 a month from the laundromat did not change Connor's life overnight, but it changed his direction. Then he stacked $2,400 from vending, $1,500 from storage. And stacking boring is how the numbers become interesting. You do not need to copy Connor's exact mix. You only need to copy the principle. Own boring, serve needs not trends, stack low drama monthly cash flow. Now here is the bigger truth behind all this. You are not just learning about 6 business types. You are learning how to think differently than everyone around you. And you are not just choosing businesses, you are choosing to value cash flow over status. Most people want businesses they can brag about. Connor wanted businesses he could count on. Think about it. When Connor told people he owned a laundromat, they did not think he was impressive. When he said he ran vending machines, they did not ask for his autograph. But when his boring income passed $6,000 a month while working his regular job, suddenly he had options. He could quit when he wanted. He could say no to projects he hated. He could build wealth on his own terms. That is the real difference. Not the business type, the mindset, the willingness to own boring while everyone else chases exciting. 6 years later, people call him lucky. They see the numbers. They see the businesses. They do not see the nights he spent reading about laundry machines and tenant software instead of chasing the latest hype. Are you willing to be that boring? Because that boring builds millionaires. If you are serious about building wealth fast, I made another video showing how to retire by 2030 if you start investing today. Aggressive timeline, real strategies, 4-year plan. It pairs perfectly with this boring business approach because you can use your business cash flow to fund your investment account and compress the timeline even more. Click the video on screen, drop a comment below with which boring business fits your city best. Subscribe for more strategies the gurus won't teach you. I'll see you in the next one.